Every great idea kind of walks a tightrope, right? On one side, you've got brilliant success, and on the other, well, spectacular failure. Today, we're going to give you the blueprint, the safety net, and the moral compass to make sure your ideas land firmly on the right side.
Come on, of course you have. We've all been there. That lightning bolt moment that strikes when you're in the shower or out for a walk, maybe even in the middle of the night. You just have to grab a napkin or something and scribble it down because you are convinced you've just stumbled onto something amazing.
And you can see it all, can't you? It's playing out right there in your mind's eye. The finished product, the people you're going to help, the impact it's going to have. It's just this powerful, incredible feeling, that spark of creation.
But then, you know how it is. After that first rush of excitement starts to fade, this little shadow of doubt creeps in. You start thinking, wait, what if it doesn't work? Or what if it accidentally causes some new problem? And that tension right there between the vision and the vulnerability, that's what separates the dreamers from the doers.
See, to actually turn that idea into a real thing, you have to answer two absolutely critical questions. And these aren't just, hurdles to get over. They are the bedrock, the very foundation of any project that's going to be successful and responsible.
Okay, think of it like this. Will it work? That's heads on the coin. It's the practical, nuts and bolts side of things that's all about making sure your project doesn't fail. Then you've got, is it right? That's the tail side, the ethical, human side that's focused on making sure you don't cause any harm. You can't have a whole coin with only one side, and you for sure can't have a truly great project without answering both of these questions. So let's tackle that first question. Will it work? To do that, we need a special kind of tool. It's almost like a crystal ball, really. It lets us peek into potential futures so we can prepare for them before they ever happen. And that tool is called risk analysis. Now, I know, it sounds super corporate, maybe a little dry, but honestly, it's something we all do every day. Think about planning a road trip. You check the weather, right? You get the car checked out, you pack a spare tire. That's it. That's risk analysis. You're just thinking about what could go wrong so you don't end up stranded. For your big idea, it's basically the immune system that keeps it healthy and strong.
Let's make this super practical. Imagine your big idea is a new social media app. For step 1, identify, you just brainstorm everything that could possibly sink you. A massive data breach, servers crashing, nobody signing up, a competitor beating you to it. For step 2, assess. You look at each one. A data breach? Okay. How likely is it? Pretty high. How serious would it be? Absolutely catastrophic. So now you prioritize. That data breach is your number one threat. So for step 4, mitigate. You make a plan. Invest in the best encryption, hire security pros, and have an emergency plan ready to go. And finally, you monitor. You're constantly testing your systems and watching for new threats. See? It's not about being scared. It's about being smart and proactive. Okay, so your project is now shielded from disaster. Your app is secure. Awesome. But what about the people your project is going to affect? Well, that brings us to that other, equally vital side of the coin. Is it right?
So if risk analysis is your project's shield, then you can think of ethical review as its conscience. It's the process that makes sure your innovation isn't just a success, but that it's also, that it's good. An ethical review is really about asking those tough questions that are going to define your project's legacy. Are we actually being fair here? Are we respecting people's privacy? Are people going to remember this as a force for good? Or is it going to become some kind of cautionary tale?
The first pillar of doing the right thing is totally non-negotiable: respect for individuals. This just means treating every single person your project touches with dignity. It means protecting their privacy like it's your own. It's basically the golden rule of innovation.
Next up, fairness and inclusion. This one is huge. It's all about building bridges, not putting up walls. Your project should try to be accessible and helpful for everyone, no matter who they are or where they come from. And it should actively look for ways to create opportunities for all.
And then there's transparency. You can think of this one as just opening the curtains and letting the sun shine in. You got to be honest and clear with your users about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Trust me, people are way more likely to trust something they can actually see and understand.
And finally, accountability. This is where the rubber meets the road. It means you are responsible for the ripples your project creates in the world, for better or for worse. You don't run from that. You own it.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's check out some real-world examples that you'll definitely recognize.
Let's start with social media. Every single time an app asks for access to your contacts or wants to track your location, it's making an ethical judgment call. It's weighing how much it wants that data for its business against your fundamental right to privacy. And that is a very high-stakes balancing act they don't always get right.
Or what about artificial intelligence? If you train an AI system on a bunch of historical data that's already full of human biases, like, say, biased hiring decisions from 50 years ago, well, guess what? The AI is going to learn and even amplify those biases. The huge ethical challenge here is to create AI that isn't just smart, but is also wise and fair. Ever wondered how ride-hailing apps keep you safe? It's a non-stop, real-time process of risk analysis. They are constantly asking, what's the risk of an unsafe driver? And how can we reduce that risk with things like background checks, vehicle inspections, and rating systems? It's a never-ending cycle of being vigilant.
And environmental projects are where these two worlds just powerfully collide. A plan for a new factory has to pass both tests. The risk analysis will look at the odds of something like a chemical spill and what that would cost financially. But the ethical review, that's going to look at the long-term impact on the health of the local community and the planet itself.
So when you bring these two things together, the will it work of risk analysis and the is it right of ethical review, what you get is this powerful blueprint for what we call responsible innovation. It's progress that isn't just profitable, but is also principled.
And this is why it matters so much. This isn't just about avoiding a lawsuit or bad press. It's about building something you can actually be proud of, something that earns the trust of your community, and something that leaves the world just a little bit better than you found it. That is the true measure of success.
Let's just leave it with this powerful takeaway. You can't just be aware of the risks to your project, you also have to be committed to making the right moral choices for people. The two always go hand in hand. So, the next time you get struck by that bolt of inspiration, don't just ask yourself if it's a good idea, ask if it's a responsible idea. Because an idea that can pass the two-question test, well, that isn't just ready to succeed, it's ready to change the world for the better.